Hi, everyone. My name is Mia, and I'm here with the Center for Financial Capability.
Hi, and my name's Adam. I want to take some time today to really show our gratitude for you guys being able to come out today. We know that there's a lot going on in your life, and you have a lot of different things that may be stressing you out. So we're just really glad that you're able to spend some time with us and learn about some different resources that can help you out, not with just money during this crazy crisis that's happening right now, but just in general help you out with your life and make it a little bit easier.
Right. So we're with the Center for Financial Capability, which is a financial literacy center on campus for you guys. Today, we'll be talking about managing your money and just some resources to help you do that. So we'll jump right in. So just before we begin the presentation part of this, I wanted to visit with you all about some of the services that we offer throughout the year. So we do workshops. This is a modification of one of them. We offer 4 a semester, so starting fall, keep an eye out for those. We also offer financial relief. So if you attend our workshops, you're automatically entered in a scholarship drawing for $100. So just by being there and enjoying the content that we provide, you could potentially walk away with $100. We also do giveaways on our social media. So just last week we did one where we had kind of like a scavenger hunt, a virtual scavenger hunt, and we're going to give out a $50 Visa gift card. We also do one-on-one financial consultations. So this is your opportunity to sit down one-on-one with a financial coach and ask any questions that you have about managing your money. So it'll be more of a one-on-one approach than learning in a group setting. And then tax assistance. So currently we're offering tax assistance online. So we can't really do your taxes for you, but we can walk you through the process of filing them. But during regular school year, when coronavirus wasn't a thing, we would actually file taxes for students. And then additional resources. So this is again primarily through our social media and website where we have a bunch of resources. We post helpful articles and just tips for logos.
Awesome. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is budgeting. So in general, this is kind of the strategy that we really go for, especially with, just in general, any of your budgets that you have for your life or different things that you're doing in your life. You want to make sure that you're putting about 50% towards your needs. And needs are things like food. This means like food from like a grocery store or bills, certain things like that. Those are things that you absolutely must pay to stay out of trouble and stay alive. The next part of your budget would be 30% towards wants. These are things like, eating out at a restaurant. Although that's considered food technically, it's still not necessarily a need because you could eat at home. Recognizing now that a lot of restaurants are closed because of this pandemic, recognizing you can still go to grocery stores, you can still get your groceries and stuff like that, and so you can still save money that way. And then the last bit is something that's become more prevalent or more important recently, I'd say, is savings. You always want to be making sure to put money away for savings. Throughout the whole year, we talk about this in all our presentations about how savings is a big thing that you need in times of crisis. And unfortunately, we've had one happen. Savings is something that can help you get you through at least a couple weeks or a couple months if things really go bad and you just need that backup. But we recognize, especially being a college student and especially now, that most of our budgets are going to look like this, where all of our money is going towards needs, and the last 1% of money, we don't even know that it's there or where it's going. So we want to give you guys some different options to really kind of help rein in that spending and help understand where your money is going.
So just one resource that we're offering is this Excel spreadsheet that was specifically created for UNM students. So it's a really great planning tool, especially at the beginning of the semester. So if you guys are not graduating this semester or are just looking to go to school or return to school in fall, this is something that can be a helpful tool in order to budget your entire expenses and your income. So this is a screenshot of just one page where, again, as you can see, it's very user friendly. So you can just select from a drop downs that you're a resident, taking 15 credit hours, let's say, and it'll pull up the tuition rate for you. So what this Excel spreadsheet is going to allow you to do is input all the information regarding your income and then all your expenses and put them side by side so you know exactly where your money is coming from and where it's going to go. And it's going to be a helpful tool to help you balance your budget. So ideally, what you want to do is make sure that at the end of the day, your budget balances out to $0. So if you have extra money, you build that into your budget towards savings. And if you have extra expenses, then you find ways where you can cut back on those expenses instead of taking out loans. Another helpful tool is this app, which is called Mint, and it's really great for day-to-day managing of your budget. So as you can see, it automatically categorizes your spendings into different categories. So you connect it to your bank account, and then let's say you were at Murphy Express, which is a gas station, and if you spend $12, it'll automatically put that in the gas and fuel category. And then once you're approaching your spending limit, it'll turn yellow. And if you exceed it, it'll turn red. So this way you can keep up to date with your day-to-day spending.
Awesome. So the next thing we're going to talk about is just evaluating all the different financial things in your life. So one big part of becoming a little bit more financially literate or just becoming stable in general is trying to increase your income. We recognize that a lot of these things may not work the same now that we're in a pandemic, but also recognizing that if you really take the time to look at these different things, you can find areas where you might be able to get a little bit more money or save some money. FAFSA. The FAFSA is super important. Make sure to always fill this out. Make sure to fill this out correctly is what I would say. You know, you want to make sure that you're putting in the correct information, and if you're just not understanding it, going to experts to help you understand it. FAFSA was used a lot for even funding just given throughout the school year for things like Pell Grants or just different grants like that. Things, even now with the CARES Act and looking at different funding levels and getting different amount of money based off of your FAFSA statuses. So definitely this is something that you should spend a lot of time on and take very carefully so that you make sure you get every penny that you deserve. The next thing is scholarships. For colleges and majors, scholarships are specific to each college and to each major, with the college being a little bit more broader than the major. And these happen through all throughout the year, but especially now at UNM, a lot of different colleges are opening up more scholarships based on the pandemic or just things like that. So make sure to look into your college and your major and see if there's a scholarship for you. Or if not, if there's not a special one open, there still might be a couple open just that's for the normal year. Resource centers have things called emergency scholarships. These are things that you should look out for in the fall semester. When something happens in your life that's unexpected and hinders you in your ability to pay for stuff, you can go to the resource centers, kind of explain your situation, kind of go through the whole process that they have laid out, and you might be able to get some money. It'll be able to help you maybe make it to the next month or just help you to get back onto your feet. Another one to look at is ASUNM. This is your undergraduate student government. They offer scholarships as well. Definitely take a look this upcoming fall. They offer 3 different scholarships and a variety of different requirements to meet these scholarships, and it might be a good way to get some money to really help yourself out. Now, we know that the job market may be kind of rough right now, but, you know, really just if you can find a place that's hiring, you know, this is somewhere that you want to look at before you do anything like taking a loan out. Different places like grocery stores are offering hiring right now. Obviously, you know, you want to weigh your health with all of that, but just making sure that you have options. And on-campus jobs are a really great way to work while in school. They do a great job of working around your school schedule and in general just helping you out with your career path, whether it be through actual on-the-job training or just in general connections or just being someone that you can be there for to talk to. And then lastly is loans. Loans often get like a big stigma, like, oh, they're scary. But when used correctly, they can be a good thing. Subsidized, I remember those as smiley face loans. So what that means is that the interest on this loans will be paid by the government throughout your time in school, and you won't have to start paying the interest back or the loan in general until you are 6 months out after graduation or 6 months out after you stop attending school. Subsidized loans are good loans or better loans, I would say. So definitely look at these before you look at unsubsidized. Unsubsidized aren't terrible loans, but they do accrue interest from the day you take them out.
Like Adam mentioned, so one way that you can help balance your budget out is by increasing your income, but the other way that you can do that is by cutting back on expenses. So the reason that we have this really pretty picture of a coffee is because of something that's called the latte factor. So some of you guys might have heard of it before, but basically what it is small expenses that add up to a lot. So your latte factor doesn't have to be a latte. It could be Red Bulls, it could be lottery tickets, it could be gum even. But basically what the thing is, it's important to identify what your latte factor is and try to consciously avoid spending money on those things, because again, these little purchases will add up to a lot. So let's say you spend $5 on a cup of coffee, or let's say you spend $5 on a cup of coffee for 3 days a week, that's $15 this week. But if you do that for a year, that's close to $800 that you've spent on just coffee. Another thing that's really great is to have the mobile banking app for your financial institution. So in this case, we have a screenshot of the mobile banking app for New Senda. But basically what this will allow you to do is just be up to date with how much money you have in your checking account. So before you go ahead and swipe your debit card or try to withdraw money from an ATM, you want to make sure that you have those funds in there, because if you don't, and if you have the feature enabled, then what will happen is they will charge you overdraft fees, which will be close to like $30 or $35. So again, like it's just really great to be up to date with how much money you have in your account.
Yeah, so maybe some of you are, trying to adjust to having to do school online, not being on campus. And maybe some of you don't have laptops. That's perfectly fine. The university is offering a program where based on eligibility, like Pell eligibility and just different kind of eligibilities like that, you're able to check out laptops. This happens, throughout the rest of the semester, and I'm pretty sure it'll still happen in the summer. And you can just check out this laptop with the university and use it for your schoolwork so that you're able to keep up with your classes. Another thing is Dane Smith is still offering its computer lab. Going to Dane Smith Hall, the computer lab is open for you. The hours are listed on the website, but also they are following social distancing guidelines. So just keep in mind with that. And like, if there's gonna be a lot of students there, then it might not be a viable option for you in that moment. Another big one is Wi-Fi. As many students who lived on campus, you never really had to worry about Wi-Fi, or just in general, if you've never had to worry about Wi-Fi before, it can be something interesting to deal with now. The university still has its Wi-Fi network, and this first tip here kind of is for, I would say, like, if you really can't do it any other way, because technically speaking, if you're on UNM's campus, you're within the range of the Wi-Fi and you can access it. So like, as long as you're close enough to a building with Wi-Fi, you'll get Wi-Fi on your devices. Obviously, this might not be feasible for everyone trying to do like projects and stuff and parking outside like a dorm hall. That might not work. But if needed, definitely this is still an option. Another thing too is UNM had dispersed out stipends to students who lived on campus based on just like different eligibility and stuff like that to help them set up Wi-Fi and just different things at the places that they're living. The city of Albuquerque is also offering free Wi-Fi hotspots. They're called COA Free Wireless, and they're in a bunch of different locations. You can look at the city of Albuquerque's website, or you could even just Google this, and the city of Albuquerque has like a nice little map that you can use to find your wireless hotspot. And then in general, other providers like Comcast and CenturyLink are offering deals to new customers, and for current customers, increasing their speeds because they recognize that the internet is something that has become a necessity now in these times. And for all of this information, this link at the bottom is a great place to visit. The next is bills. This might be super important to a majority of you. You may be living in a place where you're paying rent and you're having to pay utilities and you just aren't being able to cut it anymore. So this information can help you out. Utility companies are currently not cutting off service due to no payment. This doesn't mean that you don't owe the money, and this is kind of going to be a theme throughout this whole slide, but it does mean that if you are struggling, and you can obviously, probably have to prove that you're struggling, they won't cut off your service just because you're not able to pay. Same thing with motor insurances. The cool thing is a lot of them, the premiums are being refunded out, or just different parts of the insurance policy are being refunded out to customers because they recognize that times are rough right now, and also there's less people on the roads. New Mexico State Supreme Court has temporarily halted rent evictions. What this means is, first, if you're doesn't mean you won't be evicted. Your landlord is still within its rights to evict you, but if you had gone to the state Supreme Court to fight it, and if you were getting evicted for a non-payment, then the state Supreme Court wouldn't legally hold it up. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't owe your rent, and it doesn't mean that you won't owe any fees or anything like that after. There hasn't been really any talk about how to do any kind of amnesty or anything like that. So keep in mind, and one thing we kind of recommend is if you can make these payments right now, definitely make them, because there is no talk about how to disperse it out or amnesty afterwards. So it's really uncharted territories. New Mexico Legal Aid is offering a lot of free and reduced legal services, especially on these specific topics during this time. So if you visit their website, you can find out some different things and see if you can get some help. The CARES Act, the one that helped give us money from UNM, also allows homeowners to delay mortgage payments through certain lenders and through certain federal lenders. Thing with that too is just like the rent, doesn't mean that your payments aren't going to be due anymore. It just means that they'll either put it on later or ask for it once this is all over. So just definitely, if you can make these payments, keep up with them. And like the last bullet point says, always be careful with all these kinds of things because, like I said, as of right now, there's really no plans for forgiveness. So making sure that if you can make these bills, definitely pay them.
Also, just something to remember, like it's definitely normal right now to just pick up the phone and call your landlord or call your utility company and see if they'll work with you, because more often than not, they will be willing to do that rather than just see you suffer or lose your business.
And the same goes for your credit card company. In general, everyone right now is going through a lot of similar things, so they understand. Calling and asking is going to help you out a million times more, and most of the time people are pretty kind and will help you out.
Sweet. Okay, so the next thing is food. So obviously, like Adam had mentioned, food is a necessity, and right now some people might be struggling to pay for groceries, especially if you've lost your job. So know that there are some resources available for you. So the first one is the Lobo Food Pantry. So this is available Mondays from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. at the University Advisement and Enrichment Center parking lot. So you can find this on the campus map. But basically, you can walk up or drive up, and they will provide you with the pre-prepared bag of groceries. So you won't be able to go in and pick like we traditionally would have, but you will have groceries in your hand as long as supplies last. The other thing is Roadrunner Food Bank. So they're offering food donations at their warehouse and their mobile community locations. So one of the ones that is closest to UNM specifically is the UNM South Lot, which operates on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. But we understand that now people have moved away from campus. So definitely check out that link at the bottom to see if there's a like a food donation location near where you're living. Another great resource is Gas Buddy. So right now, even though people aren't traveling that much, this is just a great resource to keep in mind. It lists all the gas prices around the city based off of either the ratings or the price. So as you can see over here, 7-Eleven was available at $2.31, and it only had a rating of 2.5 stars. So maybe that's not something that you want to risk. So you look at the next one, which is $2.35. So you decide to go to that 7-Eleven instead. Another great resource is the Smith's Rewards Card. So this is not like a credit card. It's just linked to your phone number. And basically with this, you can get a lot of discounts in store. And then based off of your purchases in store, you can get points towards fuel. And you can get up to 30 cents off a gallon.
Awesome. We're going to talk about some different ways to help save money now. So these are some really cool apps that we always talk about, we always preach, and now more than ever important. Well, the first app here is Capital. The way it works is it links up to your bank account and it allows you to set up different goals to kind of help create what you want to save for. So for me, I have stuff saving for like, oh, I need to do some stuff to my car, so I'm saving up for that. I'm also just putting aside like an emergency fund. And then under these goals, you can put little rules, and this is how money is saved. So one rule that I use a lot is the roundup rule. The way it works, and I'm sure you've heard of it before, is let's say you spend $2.75 on something, right? When Capital sees that you've made this charge, if you have it round up to the next dollar, what it's going to do is it's also going to charge you 25 cents. So in your account, $3 is coming out. But the extra 25 cents that it charged you, it'll actually save for you. It'll set it aside. This is super cool and fast way to save money because you're saving every time you spend, and you're not even really noticing it, is what I would say. Some other rules that I use in these apps are just different things, like they can have you pull out so much for your check every week, or so much based on if you go to a specific place a lot, just things like that. The next app, Digit, works by again connecting to your bank account, but this app will use its goals and it'll just pull out money based off of its algorithms. It'll see how much you have in your account. It knows kind of when different bills or things are coming in, and so it knows how much it can pull out of your account each day. And then Acorns kind of works similar to Capital's Roundup rule, except instead of just saving that extra money, it's investing it for you.
Okay, so that kind of concludes the presentation part of this this webinar. But again, I just wanted to emphasize the services. Know that we're a resource center on campus for you guys. We are available here to help you in whatever way that you need. So definitely would like to emphasize the one-on-one financial consultation part. So you can go to our website and schedule a consultation, and that way we can set up a Zoom call and just talk through whatever financial difficulty that you're having or whatever kind of help that you're looking for.
Yeah. So one thing I want to kind of mention before we go a little bit further is in general, if you guys are struggling at all and have just more specific questions, the best way to reach us, and we'll have more information on the next slide after I'm sure Mia will go through the rest of this, but is just DM our Instagram. That's probably the fastest way to ask any question to us because we receive it instantly. All of us talk about it together. You know, we've been doing this for a while now, and we definitely understand a lot of different things and a lot of different ways to get you help, even if we don't know the answers ourselves. So that's a good way to reach out to us.
Yeah, great point, Adam. So this is our contact us information. So if you call us right now, it'll probably just go to voicemail, but we have someone in the office who is regularly checking them. But again, like Adam said, one of the best ways to reach out to us is either schedule a consultation through our website, which is listed right there, or just send us an email or reach out on Twitter or Instagram. Again, if you follow us on Instagram or Twitter, we are doing giveaways all the time, especially during this time. We're trying to do more. So that way, maybe you could get lucky and win a Visa gift card to help you with your purchases.
Yep. And one more thing to kind of look for, I should have mentioned earlier, is definitely keep an eye on our social medias because we will be having an emergency scholarship coming out. So just keep an eye on that for different details and stuff like that. And we'll definitely post it on our Instagram first so that you guys get a chance to really apply and try and be a part of that.
Sweet. So again, I want to thank you all for joining us today. I know this is kind of weird because you're probably sitting in your bedroom or in your living room. But again, I'll emphasize that we're here for you and we're here to help you however you need the help. So thank you for joining us.
Have a great day and stay safe, y'all.